Welcome back, everybody. Let me try that again. Welcome back, everybody. BJ here from BJ Drinks Beer. Welcome back to Saturday Night with BJ. Um, yeah, I should have really cleared my throat before I started. Um, all right, much better. No, not much better. Anyway, I'm just gonna suffer through it until I can get some liquid in me. Uh, is that get another class? Hello, hello. That's much better. Nah, a little bit better. Anyway, welcome back. Hello, DG. All right. So this one, I got a few samples of. Apparently, it's a THC infused beer. I have 3 different styles, and yeah, I don't know if I'm going to try them all tonight, but I'm at least going to try this one. This one is, oh man, my voice is terrible right now. This one is a, sorry to hear. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my voice, but this better be all right by tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, so this one is a THC infused beer. It's got 10 milligrams of Delta 9 THC, 2 milligrams CBD. It is a Mexican inspired Pilsner, lime and cayenne pepper in this one. And it's from Highbridge. It's a little sweaty. I've had it out a couple minutes. It's called Neblina del Pacifico, and I do not know what that means. Um, Something of the Pacific. All right. Haven't heard very good things about THC infused beer. And no alcohol in this one, by the way. Um, yeah, I haven't heard the best. Hopefully they've perfected it by now on the nose. It smells like there's a faint hint of lime, and then it just kind of smells like feet. Yeah, I'm picking up a little bit of the black pepper in the background too. But yeah, that bass. I don't know. That's weird. Let's give it a try. Okay. Um, Very smooth. The flavors are interesting. You have your black pepper, which you're just getting a hint of. It's not enough to you know, really. It's not overpowering, is what I'm saying. The aroma was weird. It was definitely it was interesting. Um, but yeah, just picking up hints of the black pepper. There's no back end bitterness or anything. Very smooth, very bready, slight sweetness. The lime, it isn't very aggressive. Yeah, the lime and the black pepper are not very aggressive. Most of what I'm getting is just the base, which in this case is just very thin and slightly sweet and bready. There's this one might have a little bit of a weedy taste to it. Okay, now the flavor is really coming together, and I'm getting a good idea of the intended flavor. Um, it took a while there. Everything was kind of all over the place for a minute, but after the taste buds settle down and acclimate, uh, you always get a better idea of how the beer tastes. Uh, yeah, it has the carbonation down. The carbonation's right. It's weird. It tastes like a soft drink version of a Mexican Pilsner. Um, it doesn't feel like a beer at all. It definitely feels like a non-alcoholic beverage. Uh, yeah, like I said, very thin on the palate. Give you a look at it here. A little thicker, not thicker, but a little cloudier than I expected. Yeah, yeah, very smooth. None of the flavors are that dominant. Uh, everything comes together nicely. Oh, not quite there yet. There it is. There we go. Yeah, everything comes together nicely. Um, would be very, very crushable if it wasn't for that carbonation. But also, if it was not carbonated, I feel like I wouldn't even mistake this one for a beer at all, and I would think it was just some crazy cocktail inspired thing, like some kind of margarita. Um, yeah, it's not horrible. I don't know if I would ever buy it, and I'm not quite sure that if I did buy it, I would have two back to back. But for what it is, for just having one, not bad at all. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ Drinks Beer and I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you've had this one or anything else from Highbridge, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting, sounds like maybe something you might want to give a try. But you have some questions, why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you would like to find this one, you can find this one. Oh, wait. Hold on. That's incorrect. If you would like to find this one, I can't help you yet. This is one that I was given as a sample to decide whether or not to bring into the store where I work. And honestly, right now we don't have space, and I'm not really sold on this one just yet. So don't expect to see this one at Joe Canals anytime soon, but possibly in the future. Um, yeah, rating. I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5. It's not horrible. It's just like there's not much to it. Not very flavorful. It doesn't. I wouldn't mistake it for a beer if I wasn't told it was a beer, the THC infused non-alcoholic beer. I wouldn't know that. So yeah, 3 out of 5. I'm definitely looking forward to trying more of. I have two more samples from these guys. I think one's a lager and one's a hazy IPA, if I'm not mistaken. Not going to be tonight. Some other weekend in the near future. But man. But yeah, definitely looking forward to trying more of what they have to offer, more of the styles that I would be more inclined to like. But as for now, yeah, 3 out of 5, and yeah, I believe that's all I've got for this time. Until next time, cheers. All right, so I'm gonna hang out for a minute, check the score of the Phillies game. As soon as I was about to go live, they lost the lead, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if anything happened in the last couple of minutes, and I don't know who this is. I don't know what's happening here. Okay. Yeah. Uh, yeah. 5-3 still. Bottom of the eighth, though. Come on, fellas. It was such a good game up until I was about to go live, and because I was sitting there, I was like, "What am I gonna do? I can't watch it on my phone. I don't have that app. I was watching it on this device, and I was like, maybe set up in front of the TV. But I was like, after that, like, all right, well, that makes my choice way easier. Turning it off. Yeah, I'm not finishing this right now. Okay, so I have a bunch of beers lined up for tonight. I have one that I was going to do tonight, but I'm putting it off until next week. Uh, and there's reasons for that, but I'm not going to get into it. Um, so yeah, I guess the theme for tonight is man, why do I sound like I guess the theme for tonight is Philadelphia sports because I have Philadelphia blah, 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 two Philadelphia Eagles inspired beers, and yeah, I'm rocking the Phil shirt. Just watching the Phil's game, checking the Phil's score. Flyers lost today. Right? No, they won. I don't know. It's spring training preseason. What am I talking about? Why do I sound like this? I'll be back. I'm gonna go get a beer. Sit tight. Oh. Sorry about that. Must be allergies or something. I don't know. I'm not like congested or anything. It's just all Is that any better? No, that's not really any better, but that's okay. I'm over it. Whatever. I sound horrible. Um, yeah, so this one is from Double Nickel, from Pennsauken, New Jersey. It is a 6% IPA, double dry hopped with Machueca, El Dorado, and Azaka. It is called Bird Watcher. Love the artwork. You got as close to the old school logos you can get without getting a cease and desist. And then the skyline. Got the, oh man, yeah, love it. Love it. It goes from the throwback Eagles green all the way down to the mid 2000s. Beautiful, beautiful can. I think I might have to save this one for my my collection of cans that I like the artwork enough to save. Yeah. Anything to read? Anything fun? Nope. All right, let's get into this one. Maybe we'll get back in can too. All right, as you can see, about the color you would expect. It's got a little bit of haze to it on the nose. Ooh, notes of pineapple, some dankness in there, maybe a little citrus, but definitely more tropical. There's definitely a little bit of dankness in there, but mainly what I'm getting is the pineapple or something pineapple-like. Let's give it a try. Okay. Um, yeah, the hop combination comes together very well. You got a little bit of dankness in there. You got notes of pineapple, maybe mango. And then there's definitely I wouldn't quite say an earthiness, but definitely a dankness to it. Not a ton of bitterness. Is do they list the IBUs? No, no, it never does. Yeah. Oh, I sound better now. Nice. Yeah. No, not completely. Yeah. Pretty balanced. Nothing really jumps out. 6%. Yeah. Solid, crushable. Um, everyday style IPA. What I mean by that is not quite a session, not quite something where you're going to drink more than a 6 pack in an afternoon. Um, but what I mean by everyday IPA is something where you can have 2 or 3 every day and not get sick of it. Again, any sediment? No, I gotta say, I don't think I've ever gotten any sediment from Double Nickel. But there are breweries that I wouldn't expect to get sediment from. I've never gotten sediment from it, and it'll be a fresh can, and there'll just be, I'll get to the bottom and just be covered. That happened with a sample I got recently that I drank off camera. I won't say whose beer it was, but that's never pleasant. I'm pretty sure it was a dark beer too, so I couldn't really tell when I was drinking it. Anyway. Yeah, this one, clean up front. You get your pineapple notes, your tropical notes, and then just kind of fades into that dankness, and yeah, leaves you kind of the slight sweetness from the hops and the notes of pineapple and everything. That all fades into the dankness, and I don't know, it just leaves you wanting more, without being overly bitter. I wouldn't say this is any more than maybe 30, 40 IBUs. No, I'm not going to look it up. Yeah, very drinkable. If you've had this one or anything else from Double Nickel, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting. Maybe it's something you might want to give a try. Maybe you have some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one, you can find this one at Joe Canals in Marlton. Rating. I'll give this one a 3.75 out of 5. Not quite. It doesn't pop enough, and there's nothing special enough about it to call it a 4. But it's not horrible, and it's better than most. And the hop combination is pretty unique. I don't think I've come across that hop combination before, but yeah, those three hops come together very nicely. If you haven't had anything from Double Nickel, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. A little while back, I did a video, or I did a live stream one of these Saturday nights. It was like a month ago, and I went through the variety pack. I don't recommend you watch that video till the end of the stream, but if you want to get an idea of how their lagers, how their pilsners, how their IPAs are, check out like the first I didn't start with that, but check out from like 10, 15 minutes in until about 45 minutes in, maybe even an hour in. Then I start getting a little tipsy and it gets awkward. But yeah, their flagship 5, their Vienna Pilsner Session IPA in Belgium, all very, very good. Some better than others, but none, all of them like way better than most other breweries, just run of the mill selections. And then you have stuff like this where it's only going to be out for a little bit, but it's one of those things where you got to get it while it's out. Same with they do a series of stouts, Nocturnal Creatures. We only get about a case or two of each of those every year, and those are very, very good high ABV dessert stouts. Come out in the winter. They do a lot of good limited releases. Not quite as much as they did a few years ago, but they still, they do a good amount of limited releases, and all of them are very, very good. Next up, I believe Friendsgiving will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So definitely looking forward to having that this year. In fact, this kind of reminds me a little bit of that, but there's so much going on in that. Anyway, yeah, if you haven't had anything from Double Nickel, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. And if you haven't been to their brewery in Pennsauken, New Jersey, and you're in the New Jersey area, I don't know what you're waiting for. You got to get over there and check it out. And nothing like trying out the best the brewery has to offer, fresh from the tap. And Double Nickel is the place to do it. every time I've been there, it's been an amazing experience. My friends from the New England area had a great time when we went there, and they said like they were just praising the place, and yeah, and they're also one of the few breweries in New Jersey that actually have food. They have pizzas, so yeah, I definitely recommend you check out the brewery if it's in your area, or if you're in its area, or you know what I'm saying. Um, but yeah, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time, cheers. Yeah, I am not going to finish that right now. I think that's the key to these streams is you don't have to finish everything, especially if they're 16 ounce. You can save some stuff for later, and you can dump some stuff, and no one has to know. All right, so I am going to sip on that for another minute. Man, I hope I'm not losing my voice. I have a very important stream to do tomorrow on my other channel. That would be unfortunate. Oh, this one, yeah, I mean, this one's good. It just like I said, it doesn't have what it takes to get it to that food. Although it is an interesting cop combination. All right, next up, I'll save the other Eagles inspired IPA for a little bit later. See what I have up next. Sit tight. All right. Sorry it took me so long. I was trying to pick out a glass because somehow, for some odd reason, I don't have an 8 in sand glass. I swore I had an 8 in sand glass. I guess I don't have an 8 in sand glass. So I figured I'd use another double nickel glass. Uh, I don't. I know I went there, and usually if I go to a brewery, I buy a glass. And I know we bought a bunch of glassware at Bonesaw before we went. Yeah, that's why everyone spent their money that day. No one had any money for glassware. Either way, I got to get myself an 8 and Sand glass. All right. So this one is another Eagles inspired IPA. Not a lot of information on this one, but it is also 6%. Uh, they don't list the hops. I'm not reading that story again. You know what? Let me read that story again. 8 and Sand Beer Co. We're two buddies from South Jersey that are fully devoted to quality craft beer, brewed with pet. But it said passion. It says patience. Brewed with care and brewed with our local community in mind. The phrase 8 and Sand was used to wish train crews a quick and safe journey, and we felt it fitting. And we felt it a fitting name for our brewery. Brewery. I sound horrible today. I apologize for that. 8 and Sand, Woodbury, New Jersey. Excellent spot. All right, let's get into this one. It'd be really funny if this was exactly the same as the last one. On the news? Yeah. I think that might be the same beer. Pretty much the same color. Okay, no. Wow. Okay. Yeah, no. Definite difference there. So, on the news, very, very dank and citrusy, like like bad orange juice. This one, like I said, I don't know what it was hopped with, but I would guarantee you Citra is involved and possibly Motueka and maybe Mosaic. There's definitely some dankness in there. Let's give it a try. Oh, wow. Very, very citrusy. In fact, it almost has like a kind of blood orangey kind of flavor to it. Um, very thick on the palate. Very, it's like almost like orange juice with pulp. I mean, this one, there's, you got your dankness, you got your citrusiness. It's a little bit bright up front, which you don't get with a lot of these. Like you get your citrus flavor, but you don't get that blood orange brightness. Yeah, yeah, very bright and sweet up front, and like citrusy and tangy, and then it fades into that dankness. Yeah, like I said, thicker on the palate than most. They must have used a ton of flaked oats in this one. Yeah, that sweetness up front and that dankness on the back end, and it's a dankness, not quite a bitterness. There's a definite difference in this one. I'm not picking up a lot of bitterness at all. Yeah, it's more so a dankness. Um, that back end dankness, yeah, it goes from the bright, sweet, citrusy, tangy um flavor into that dankness, and it does keep you coming back for more, but that those flavors on the front end stay with you a little bit longer than they would in most cases. Yeah. It has a ooh, blah, blah, blah. It has a certain drinkability to it, despite like how thick and chunky it is. And by chunky, I don't mean like there's actually solids floating around in it. It's just like just a kind of an intensifier, a kind of a way to describe um, the mouthfeel and the thickness of it. Yeah, there's a little bit of like grassiness in there too. Now that I think of it, like a kind of freshly cut grass, along with that bright blood orange citrusy note. Whoa! Yeah, if you look at the can here, generic football players. I'm pretty sure they're going to manage to avoid a cease and desist. These guys, I don't know. Man, I sound horrible. I'm sick of complaining about it. Um, you've had this one or anything else from Eight and Sand? Why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me how you thought about it? If you've had this one or anything else from Eight and Sand, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it? This one sounds good, sounds interesting. Maybe it's something you might want to give a try. Maybe you have some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one, you can find this one at Joe Canals and Marlton rating. Yeah, I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. This one does have what it takes to get it up to that 4, um, as opposed to that last one I had. But this isn't a comparison. Um, oh, and before I do that, I just want to say this. There's a reason I said I wasn't going to drink this next, but then there's a beer in there that I really want to drink, and it's a night ender. Like it's a stream ender. So I'm going to do that next, but I wanted to get this out of the way. Because that one is going to take me a long time. But I'll get into that. Did I rate this yet? 4 out of 5. Yeah, this one does have what it takes to get to the next level. That brightness up front is a real difference maker, and the everything comes together very nicely. It's just more flavorful up front than I. No, that's not what I wanted to say. Just yeah, very flavorful up front. That's all I wanted to say. Uh, man, if you haven't had anything from Eight and Sand, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. You will not be disappointed. Uh, IPA number 2, one of the best everyday IPAs I've ever had. I think it's 6.5%, somewhere in there, but it is absolutely delicious. Um, and yeah, yeah. I just had their pumpkin beer. I had one of those the other day. Excellent stuff. Um, yeah, pretty much. I've never had one from Eight and Sand that I was disappointed by. Put it that way. Everything they do is pretty quality, and this one is no different. Yeah, I'm not going to outro yet. I better not lose my voice. I know I keep saying the same stuff over and over again, but I really want to be able to talk tomorrow. Got some things to say. Ugh. All right. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say the line before I took the sip. That's all right. We'll get to it. Man, I sound horrible. Well, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time. Cheers. That wasn't mine. Just spilled beer on my knee. Doesn't appear that there's any sediment, which is, again, always a good thing, at least in my opinion. Some people don't seem to care too much about sediment, but it bothers me. All right. Yeah, I will get to the night ender, the stream ender, in a little bit. All I'm gonna say is it's October, and even though I'm not doing even though I'm not doing pumpkin beer October this year, I'm gonna drink some pumpkin beers. And this is a big one. This one is not available in New Jersey. Don't ask me how I got my hands on it. Man, tearing it up. All right. Well, yeah, I got to chill with that. Just not feeling the IPAs right now in general. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab that. You guys sit tight. I will be right back. Or, if you're not watching this live, fast forward until you see my avatar come off. But you should probably watch and listen to the music. This next one, like I said, it's not available in New Jersey. Don't ask me how I got it. Yeah, it is a 10.1% barrel aged pumpkin ale with vanilla, pumpkin spices, and lactose, aged in Willet bourbon barrels. Super excited to try this one. This one is from New Trail Brewing, and it's barrel aged werewolf. Sorry, it's not a pumpkin ale, it's an Imperial Pumpkin Stout. Super excited to try this one. I know Zombies Are People too. I remember that being really good. And Double Zombies, I think I had at one point. Very good stuff. But if you want pumpkin beer October content, here it is. Yeah. I mean, aged in Willet barrels. Like, I feel like it's like I'm not worthy of this. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm a beer guy. You know what I mean? So I see bourbon as like, I can't afford that. It's too much for me. Um, I don't know. Feels good though. Let's get into it. I don't. All right. Oh, yeah, yeah. They gave up that home run right as I was about to go live, and I was like, "Oh, well, that solves the problem of not being able to watch the game." Um, Super disappointing, but hey, get back out there next one. Hopefully, I mean, they looked good, man. They looked real good. They put up numbers against Shohei. That's, I mean, that's huge. You know, so props to them. They just blew it like they do. Um, I don't know. We got them next one though. If I was more prepared, I would have taken this out and let it get a little bit warmer. But I think we got it. We got this one. We're not going out like that. Yeah. Uh, if I would have been more prepared and thought about it at all, I totally forgot I had this in the fridge. Um, I would have taken it out and let it get to temperature. But as is, I'm sure it's not going to be too much different. So on the nose, oh, as you can see, super dark. Already, without even getting close to it, I'm picking up the bourbon aroma. Oh, so through the bourbon aroma, I'm picking up hints of pumpkin, maybe a little bit of cinnamon. Yeah, not I'm not able to get a ton through the bourbon aroma. Let's give it a try. No bite whatsoever. Super smooth. The lactose gives it that nice thick mouth feel. Super creamy. The vanilla is not overpowering. It's there just enough to take the edge off. Wow. Yeah, you're getting the bourbon flavor, but not the burn, which is always a plus. Um, that's why I don't drink a ton of bourbon barrel aged stuff because it tends to be too boozy. Obviously, I mean, like I like the flavor of bourbon, but I don't want that bite. I don't want the burn. But this, it's super balanced. Uh, Everything it says is there on the can is accounted for in the flavor. Um, as far as the pumpkin spice combination, I'm getting cinnamon, maybe nutmeg, clove, definitely clove. Um, there's something else I can't exactly place. Maybe it's just the vanilla. Yeah, I think that is more so the vanilla. It almost tasted like kind of like a graham cracker, but yeah, more so just vanilla. Oh man, this is really, really good. I mean, New Trail, like, they don't make bad beer. I think I've had one beer from New Trail that was like less than amazing, and I kind of feel like that's probably just because I hold them to a higher standard. So something that would have been a 4.5 for another brewery was like a 3.5 for them. Uh, but yeah, the even as as you sip on it and and it works its way down, you don't get any of that like liquor burn. Very, very smooth, and that pumpkin spice combination, the pumpkin flavor is probably behind Elysian is probably the second best pumpkin spice combination I've come across. Yeah, initially the bourbon jumps out in front, but just before it gets to be too much, the base and all the spices hit you. Very, very good stuff. I am so happy that I got to give up my secret. I got to say thank you. I do not remember your name right now, but the new trail guy, whatever his name is, uh, very good dude. The new trail guy. He hasn't been there too long, maybe a few months. Um, yeah, very good dude. Thank you so much for this. Like, I wouldn't have experienced this otherwise, and these people wouldn't have a beer for week 1 of Pumpkin Beer October. Um, well, yeah, no, thanks a lot, man. And stop in, man. We'll have some conversations. We'll chit chat. Always a pleasure. So comparison time. So the only other bourbon barrel aged pumpkin stuff I've had that I can remember right now. I know there was a bourbon barrel aged pumpkin ale from Heavy Seas. I want to remember. Oh my god, I cannot remember what that's called. But whoa, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, excuse me. Got to check my personal reference. My YouTube playlist. Pretty sure I did that last year. I guess not. Oh, there it is. Oh, Greater Pumpkin by Heavy Seas. Yeah, that was a really good one. Uh, I know I had Lakefront Bourbon Barrel Aged Pumpkin Ale, but these are all pumpkin ales. This is, to my knowledge, I think it's the only bourbon barrel aged pumpkin stout I've had. I could be wrong, but absolutely amazing. And dangerous too, because this is something that if it was available to me like that, I would probably get this like once a week and like force myself to only drink one and save the rest. But yeah, very, very good stuff. I kind of wish this was in distro. I kind of wish we could get this in Jersey, but unfortunately, we cannot. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ Drinks Beer, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you've had this one or anything from New Trail, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting, sounds like something you might want to try. Maybe you have some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one, it's not available in Jersey. I already told you that. Rating. I'm trying to find a reason not to give this one a 5 out of 5, and I cannot. If anything, I would say no. No, you know what? No. It's very, very balanced. You get the flavor from the bourbon, but not the burn. Very smooth, very nice mouthfeel. 5 out of 5. If you haven't had anything from New Trail, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. They're known for their IPAs for the most part, Broken Heels, Double Broken Heels, but recently their line of crisp lagers has been very, very good, and super affordable. These guys are not selling, but in the store you can find a 15 pack of an amazing craft lager for what, 16, 17 bucks, the same price as a 12 pack of Miller Lite. So I mean, you're getting craft and you're getting quantity at the same time. And I mean, this stuff, like I mean, these crisp amber and crisp lime, I believe it was called. Yeah, crisp amber, crisp lime. These are some of the best craft lagers I've ever had, and just that they're available in 15 packs for so cheap is just mind blowing. Um, I've had a lot of my excuse. I've had a lot of my salespeople come in, and I would tell them about that because they're like, "Oh yeah, we have a light lager, blah blah blah, blah 12 pack. What's the price?" And as soon as they would tell me the price, I would just point to that, the crisp on the shelf for the price, for 16.99 or whatever it is, 15.99, forget. And most of them would be like taking pictures of it, like, oh, I got to show my boss. So like, yeah, they're lagers. They're known for their IPAs. Their lagers are really hitting, and their bourbon barrel aged stouts, excellent stuff. I think this is the second one I've had. I had one a couple years back, maybe one of the Moonlit. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, absolutely amazing. Thank you, New Trail guy, whose name I can't remember, with the beard and the tattoos, for hooking me up with this can. I really appreciate it. And yeah, man, New Trail is an amazing brewery, and I am very, very happy that almost 2 years ago they decided to distribute in New Jersey. So thank you from everyone in New Jersey. New Trail, you guys are awesome. That's all I've got for this time. Until next time. Cheers. Wow, like a couple sips and I'm already hammered. Oh man. Yeah, like I said, stream ender. I am not going to be able to drink anything after this. So I'm just going to hang out for a little bit and drink a little bit of this. Look at this. So that's what I was saying about like me realizing like I don't have to finish everything, and no one will know if I dump it. Um, I During these streams, like, put it this way, I'll wake up Sunday morning and just be like, on my deathbed, and I'll pretty much sleep up until like 2 or 3 hours before my Sunday stream. Um, and I'm not trying to live like that. So I'm not trying to drink that much. I had one beer way earlier today at Oktoberfest, so it was like 5% or 6%er. Um, and yeah, no, I'm not trying to. I don't want to be that foggy tomorrow morning. I have a lot of research to do. I have a lot of wrestling to watch. I have things going on. Uh, so yeah, I will not always be finishing the beer. This one I'm going to finish. The Night Ender, maybe not on camera, but I will finish this one unless I pass out before I finish it, but I doubt that. I took a nap today. But yeah, excellent stuff. I haven't really, so far this year, really been enjoying pumpkin beer. I guess it's because the weather has stayed like super hot for most of the last month or two, and this is the time of year when normally it would be like, oh, crank the heat up and grab a pumpkin beer. And I tried too early. It was like 90 degrees out, and I'm drinking at least at night out. Like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. It's great, but I'm not feeling it. So now is the right time. So now is the right time. I probably should have waited. I probably shouldn't have forced it, but I'm glad that I can enjoy this right now, and I'm not totally burnt out on pumpkin beers like I thought I would be. I've 3 out of the last 4 years, this being the fifth. Uh, I did pumpkin beer October, in which every day in October I did a video review of a different pumpkin beer. And last year I did it all live stream. And by November, I'm like, I never want another pumpkin beer in my life. And then, 10 months go by and I'm like, yeah, okay, it sounds like a good idea. But I don't know. I gotta remember that and pay attention. And it's fine to buy them, but you don't have to drink them right away, kind of thing. That's hard to do. I don't know what's happening, man. I really don't hope. I really hope I don't lose my voice. This is so good. Whoa. I'm spilling. And I'm like hammered all of a sudden. It's been like a few sips of this, and I'm like, it's like a beer and a half at most, and a couple sips of this. Yeah, man. Oh, man, my voice sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm still on. I guess I should end the stream now. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be drinking this for like another hour. But yeah, this. Oh my god. If you're lucky enough to be able to get your hands on a can of this, don't hesitate, don't hold back, spend the money. It's worth it. This is an amazing beer. And it's destroying me right now. I'm in like slow motion. All right, I gotta go. I'll see you guys. I might even tell you what. I'll definitely see you Saturday, but tune in Friday at like 10, and there's a good chance I might be going live then also. Wait. What's next weekend? Okay, yeah. I don't have to go out anywhere. Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely see you guys 9 o'clock Saturday night. But just see if I like scheduled anything for Friday night. It might even be spontaneous. It might even be on my other channel because, as you know, I have a wrestling channel. It's what is it called? Oh, that's right, BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. And every Sunday at 5 o'clock, we have a live stream where we discuss everything that went down in the world of mainstream wrestling that week. And we do much, much more on the channel. But why was I plugging my channel? Yeah, I'm feeling it. Oh, because yes, so Friday night it might even be on that channel. But it wouldn't be Friday night with BJ. It would be like impromptu SmackDown debate or something. But I would still like be drinking beer. Maybe not talking about it. But yeah. Or I might just go live on my channel. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Everybody, as DG always says, be good to each other. Put kindness out there into this world. Everybody be well. Until next time, cheers.